Go ahead, Tom. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Live in the Living Room. I am your host, Big Ran, along with my homeboy.
What's going on, people?
Tony's in the house. And we got a returning guest with us tonight.
Yes, we do.
Miss
Please.
Clark. How are you this evening, Miss Clark?
I am great. Can't complain. Thanks for having me. Great to be back.
Welcome aboard. First of all, welcome back.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome back. The first time we had you was working on your first book.
Yes.
Now you come along with your second book.
Well, the first time you had me, I already finished my first book, finished my second book. So now today I have my second book here, so you can actually see it live in person. And
ooh, it's all right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm human, people.
It's okay. It's all right.
So yeah, so that's where I am right now.
You also, this time around, not only did you bring the second book, but you also started your own business this time.
I did. I started a staffing company. The name of my company is Clark and Leonard LLC. I'm sorry, Clark and Leonard Employment Firm LLC. So I am helping individuals get work. I'm currently staffing white-collared employment. However, eventually I'm going to be opening up to blue-collar, which is labor work.
Yeah. Okay, so individuals that are not clear or don't have a full employment record, let them know.
Yeah.
White collar.
They're like, oh, do I apply?
Yeah.
Right, so white collar is more high-end tech. So right now, some of the orders I've been working on is like high-tech IT, SharePoint, Self-Voice, development administrator. I got recently, should I say, she started yesterday. I got a doctor, psychiatrist hired. So it's high end right now until I spread my wings, go back into labor work and give back to everybody else. Yeah.
You're always on point, though.
I'm a hustler.
Even when you started doing the first book, you was already thinking about doing something else.
It was already in the works.
It was already in the works.
The last Miles Hill is already there. Like my mind does not sleep. I'm a Virgo. If anybody wants to know it, I'm very focused and driven. We got all these famous Virgos: Michael Jackson, may he rest in peace; Adam Sandler, Beyonce. And there's many, many, many more. So we're hungry. So I'm ready to eat.
All right, well, let's get into the book.
Okay.
The book actually picks up from the first book. Maybe a lot of people didn't really get a chance to read the first book. Just tell them the name of the first book.
So the name of the first book is Tender Hard Way by C.R. Clark, which is me. The second book literally picks up 8 months later.
Okay.
A lot of situations has changed. I hate to give too much insight because you have to literally read the first one
to get to
know the second one.
That's
because if I give any information on the second one in depth, it's gonna kill the whole plot.
The whole plot.
Right.
Well, get into the main character because I find her to be very interesting.
Yes, Heaven, aka me, aka my mind, because she's not me as far as what's going on in her life. But Heaven is the main character. She is the sister. She's the middle sister of 10 siblings.
Wow.
Okay, and she is the glue to the family. Everybody goes to her for everything. It's just the second book. Well, okay, so the first book is a lot of trials, tribulations, relationships, ups and downs, secrets, hidden. What's the word I'm looking for? Sexualities. The second book kind of highlights, without telling too much. People have passed. People have been birthed. So a lot of things have grown from the first book.
So people have been taking out the book and people add it, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and they have elevated because they're older, even though it's only 8 months later. A lot of situations have transpired in those 8 months. So they're more, they're faced with new challenges, and the consequences that come with those challenges has been played out in the second book. Yeah.
Hell of a book, too.
It really is. Like, and I don't say it because I wrote it. Like, sometimes I had to sit back and be like, yeah, did you write that? I did write it.
I didn't get to finish the whole second book. But the first book, I think your imagination was beautiful.
Thank you.
Because it actually puts you in the seat with this young lady from the time she was a young girl to the time she graduated and everything else.
Right.
So it's a well-written book.
And, you know, like I said before, I never knock any writers because I'm a new one, you know. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of urban novels out there, and I would like to think, and I would definitely want to acknowledge that my writing is different. Like, me personally, I read a lot of urban novels, or I used to at one point in my life, and I just felt like it all sound very similar.
Do you believe that, though?
Yes, I do. There was always a similar plot. As far as
I know there's a lot of similarities in
yes,
in our urban books.
Now you always have the drug, the stripper game, the drug game, the drama. I mean, that's don't get it twisted. My book has the drug game in it as well, but it's more of a family tone, something that's more realistic, maybe for people that's not that far in the game. Because you have people that also go through struggles that go through those situations that is not as in-depth as the stories that may be out there already.
But, not to cut you off, let me just say this. In a lot of our urban writers, you know, we have to go back to the beginning. And I always go back to, with the similarities with the Donald Goines and the Iceberg Slims.
And the Zanes.
And the Zanes.
Yes.
Now, let's understand, these guys and these ladies wrote about the same thing.
Right.
But I think each writer has his own characteristic way of telling a story. Which means, I don't think they're the same. They might have a similarity, but I think they're totally different.
I don't mean the same as there's the same plot in every book.
Right.
I mean the same as the killings and just the maybe the more graphicness behind it.
Right.
If that would be correct. Like I said, my book is no different when it comes to the drug game and people getting killed or whatever may happen. But I feel like I spend it more on a family aspect, like a real relatable family. Because maybe for me, I can't relate to that aspect. Right. I might enjoy reading the urban novel, but I can't relate to what's written because I don't have that in my line. So I made it more something that I can relate to, that, you know, people that may not be on that level of the street game 24/7, well, they can relate to it even better because you have to, in order to read any book, you have to connect.
You have to connect.
Right.
Yes.
And I may not have had it in my life per se, but it is in certain aspects of my family. On maybe my father's side, you know, or extended family, whatever. But it's more, the way I write is more realistic for me.
Right.
Not to downplay anybody, because everybody, all the readings I ever wrote, all the readings I ever read is great. But I'm not here to downplay anybody. I would never do that. It's just different spin. And once you read it, you understand what I'm talking about.
Well, like I said, I've read your first work.
Right.
I'm looking forward to reading the second work. And I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a third to follow. We don't want to push. But I'm pretty sure, because it seems like it's a good series.
Why should it stop?
Yeah.
Well, because maybe she want to move on to something different.
Well,
I remember the last time when you
I do have another book that I started.
Right.
I don't want to put the title out yet because it's not published. I don't want nobody to snatch it.
Can't snatch it. Don't steal it.
Yeah, no snatchies.
No stealing.
I put the idea out there.
Yeah, don't put it too out there too much.
Right. But I do have another genre, and what's actually what actually promoted this in my mind was watching the movie 13.
Oh, man. You know, they took that thing
down
off the air.
Right. And I think it was the best series ever because it's what really happens with young
kids.
Yes.
And a lot of people do not watch. Listen, that show was so deep. It came back for the second season. I think after the scene, and we were talking about this at work, I think after the scene where I call it hazing. Most people didn't call it hazing, not to defer from the book or anything. Mm-hmm. But I thought when they showed that personal part, I think that's when everything went haywire for that program.
Right. Because
they stopped focusing more on her and started focusing on the youths around her.
Right. But which is actually a good aspect because suicide don't always just hit the family. It hits her people and her peers around her.
Right.
So that book, I mean, I don't know if it's a book or not, but that show did trigger. Like, I got really emotional behind it. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know anybody personally in my life that I can think of at the moment that actually committed suicide. But I have a lot of friends that tried it in my high school. And it just hit me. And it made me write the first book outside of the series of Tender Hardaway in the 4 books.
Wow, man. People don't know how serious suicide, even the thought,
it comes on.
Yeah, like, man, people go through so much times and trials and tribulations that they forget.
Right.
You know, they're willing to leave loved ones behind and everything else in order to escape reality that they can't face.
Because all they see is the hardship.
Molly, what's up?
How to escape it.
What's going on, Molly? We see you, Livy. How are you? Good evening, everybody, for joining. Go ahead. I see you.
Hi.
So at this point right now, we're deep in the book. She's grown up.
Right. Well, she's not too grown. She's 24 in the book.
Well, I mean,
she's 8 months later, so if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, I think she had a birthday.
Yes.
So she's a year older, 8 months, but
8
a
months.
year.
Right.
But her life has changed dramatically. Mm-hmm. If I will say, the only thing that I will say that she added a life. She had a kid. Okay. I won't say what the kid was. You have to read to find out.
Okay.
But she had a kid, and there's situations that happen when it comes to her and the other parent of the kid.
Right.
What's kind of domino affecting her situation personally.
Right.
Now, in the end of the book, for the first book, something dramatically happened to her. So it's a big event that you have to really read the first book. You have to. Because if you don't read the first book, you're going to be lost in the second book.
You got to go put a 2-part, buy one, get one.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Or something like that, so they can catch up.
So many people jump and read the second book before. You can't read the second book without reading the first.
Especially if the second book is good, then you're going to have to go back and then you're behind.
You know what I meant to ask you? Being the fact that Barnes & Noble's closed down.
I am on Barnes & Noble's online.
Online?
Yes.
Okay. Barnes &
Noble's, Amazon, Zebras is who self-published me. I'm self-published, but they did all the work because I was the first-time writer in 2016.
Right.
But I have all the residuals. For the second book, right here, Unspoken Truth, Heaven's Story Continued, I self-published myself through Lulu. I did everything. The cover, the name, the backdrop. This is the back of my book right here. Okay, that's me, smiling bright like a diamond.
Come on now.
So I did everything by myself. So I'm trying, and I want to be self-sufficient, where I don't have to pay somebody to do my work. I can do it myself.
You know, and you know, this it's a good thing because, you know, like I was explaining to somebody how hard it is to self-promote yourself. It's a lot of work.
It really is.
It's a lot of work. You got to dedicate yourself.
Which brings me to the point of the topic of the night, which is about single mothers.
Right.
And it's funny how we were coming up with the topic and we were fooling around and we got on Facebook Live and we was like, oh man, we live. We finally got a chance to go live. Because it's not that we couldn't figure it out. A lot of things were going on. You made the comment and you said, you know what, when can we get on? And you happened to come on at the right time.
I happened to call you at the right time because it was the perfect thing.
Yes.
I have been a single mother for 15 years.
Yes.
Okay, I now, for the last year, have a great man in my life, love him to death. Doesn't take away from what I've been through.
Amen.
I've been a single mother for 15 years to a great, beautiful, gorgeous, intelligent, challenging, my son. Okay, he's 15 years old. And every movement that I make, whether it be me writing, whether it be me working, or whether it be me opening my new business, is all for him.
See, and this is the thing that why I agreed to, like, you know what, we should talk. As a single mother, you have to do everything basically by yourself prior to the man coming into your life.
Right. And I still pretty much hold down the fort. I am...
Right.
Okay, so if we want to really go there, when you think about back in the day, the woman held down the household, the men worked.
Right.
I just happen to work as well, but I still hold down the household.
Ain't nothing wrong with
I pay the bills. He pays the bills too, but I kind of distribute where the money should go. I do the food shopping, so does he, but I'm the one who goes there.
How difficult? You know, here's the question I'm going to ask though. How difficult it is as a single black mother to keep doing what you're doing?
It's not difficult.
And still achieve this
some type of success.
It's not difficult because it's all about your mentality.
Because according to Don Lemon and CNN, this clown, he just happened to think that all black women should not have babies before their times and things like that. I mean,
first of all,
yeah,
I had a baby without being married. Okay, first of all, and I'm very successful.
With a lot of
I might be starting off, but guess what? I'm doing great. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I just signed somebody to get a job, and she already started working, and I got paid beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm doing good for myself. The thing is, you have to have the drive. It doesn't matter if you're a single mother or a mother in a family. The whole thing is you have to have the drive to do and to want more for yourself than just to sit back and have your spouse or whoever's in your life at that time, if you're with somebody, take fold. Or you have to want enough, because there's a lot of single mothers, and I'm not downplaying anybody, that can't or may not have the same mentality, and they wind up going to like public assistance. Me, I don't knock public assistance at all.
Me either.
The way I look at public assistance, honestly, because I've been laid off when I was a PO, and I used to be a probation officer back in the day, in 2009. They had cuts. I had to go to food stamps. That's as far as I went. But, you know, it's there for what it's there for, to help you, but not to cripple you. I feel like the people that allow it to cripple them, it's hurting themselves. They're doing themselves a disservice.
They're settling for the check that they're receiving.
Right, when there's so much more.
Yes, there's so many options that you have.
Right.
And we was talking about it earlier, how a person without nothing has everything. But a person that's been working for 10, 15 years, it's difficult for them to get certain things.
Anything.
And sometimes you're right. It is
especially things like housing.
That's right.
It is definitely hard when it comes to, because I'll take myself for example. I work full-time right now, a contractual worker as a recruiter. I'm not going to say the company, but that's what I do. The contract is coming to an end in January, so I'm going to be out of work again, but not really, because I already have my company, and I'm doing other projects.
Yeah, establish other things.
Right, but at the same time, it's like if you constantly wait for somebody to hand it to you, it's never going to come. So you have to dig inside yourself, and everybody has a fire in them. We're born with a fire in us. Some people's fuel is turned down low because they don't know how to light it. You know, sometimes your oven don't work. You got to put the paper with the fire and light it up.
Right.
Some people's fuel, you turn the oven on, the flames fly up high, right? Because it's different levels of your drive. It's all about the person. Either you want to be a lazy person and take what's given to you, or you want to be a successful person and go out there and take. You might want to take what's given to you temporarily, but you're still working towards what you want for yourself.
Gotta have a direction.
Right.
Gotta be motivated.
Everybody was built with a goal and a dream in their heart. We are products of God. You know what I'm saying?
Amen to that.
Right. We're products of God.
I'm still dreaming.
Hello.
Amen.
But the difference from having a dream and actually incorporating it into your actual reality.
Yeah, because I'm living mine.
Right.
Some people have been told, even by their parents, that don't believe in your dreams. They only dream.
So those are the non-optimistic. So,
I was told that you have to start with a dream.
Amen.
Right. If you don't have a dream,
you got to picture it. If you don't picture it, how you going to see it?
I don't know, because your dream has to have a vision. And
your vision has to turn to reality.
Come on now.
Because if you don't,
depends on your fight.
You can have a no, not really.
No, not really.
No,
because I understand what you're saying. I really do.
Your fight to make that dream come true.
No, because listen, you got to have
maybe your fight, but not your finances.
No, I said your fight.
Right, your fight is definitely it needs
your
to
fight.
be there.
How bad do you want it?
Right.
That's the fight I'm talking about. How bad do you want it?
A swimmer or a drowner. That's what makes a person because
you're right about that.
It's nothing about your finances. I started my company with nothing.
Amen.
Like I might have paid for certain programs I needed to start it on my end, but at the same time, I didn't have a big bank account to go out there and do that.
If you educate yourself, there are loans out there that help you towards certain businesses.
Exactly.
You never lie about that.
But if you also do it the right way, you don't have to take loans where you have to pay somebody back. I didn't take no loans. I'm not paying nobody back.
I know that's right. I
so
know that's right.
You're a lesson to learn from.
I know that's right.
Yeah. Because, I got a student loan still.
You see,
I don't even know the loan on top of my back. I don't know nobody. Ms. Clark, I'm like, no, leave me alone. Thank you.
I know that's right.
Shoot, they don't even knock on the door no more. You just pick up your check and be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that. Short. I don't know that life. So.
It's getting.
We're not about that life.
So right now, it just seems to me that a lot of our single mothers out here, I don't want to say they're lazy. You think they lost their determination or
self-esteem?
I don't think it's the self-esteem.
It's gotta be
to a certain extent.
Yes.
Honestly, Tony, I think you're on something because
once you lose your self-esteem, your motivation, it
yes,
just dies.
they're tied together. Those are definitely
and you get settled.
But how does a single mother lose her self-esteem?
A single mother loses her self-esteem when she allows people to tell what she can't do, and she listens to everybody.
Pressure bust pipes, though.
Yeah.
But what is she allowed to do?
Well, some people have a dream. I'm going to give you a little story when it came to my writing my first book. I wrote it. You know, at first I was told, I'm not going to say who told me, that you shouldn't put it out right now, Sharice. You should wait. You should wait. You should do it. You know, wait until you have the money. And I was like, I'm not going to wait, because if I wait, I might never do it. You know, so I did it anyway. And I might not be making millions of my books, but it's out there.
It feels good, don't it?
Oh, it does, because I'm very accomplished, because not only do I have my 2 books that's already out there, right? I have my company that's building. I'm also doing wedding planning for my sister friend. Like, I'm doing like 4 things at one time. You just have to put yourself, I feel like a lot of females or single mothers, because they're so exhausted. Like, even tonight,
I was about to say, does she have an appointment for sleep?
Because you said that when you came through the door.
Let me give you a perfect example. This is a perfect example. I came home tonight from work. I got home literally 7 o'clock. I told my son, oh man, I'm tired. I got to do this radio interview. I don't know if I'm going to make it. He's like, Mom, any publicity is good publicity. My son pushed me to come here. And he pushed me to come here because I push him to do what he got to do every day.
Amen.
So he's pushing back what I give him, and he put it right back on me. It's called accountability. You can't ask nobody to give you anything if you're not willing to give it for yourself.
Amen. I know that's right.
I was going to come regardless, but with his little push, I was like, you know what, you're right.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's right. Sometimes you have to see that you may be juggling 1,001 things. You may be having 5 kids, 10 kids, 2 kids, 1 kid. I got 1. And I'm still exhausted.
But you still got some others out there, 3, 4.
He said, I got to push mommy out there. I need the new Jordans.
Yeah, he needs something.
Oh, his daddy got that. I don't do the Jordans. He's a big man, so I don't got to worry about that life. I'm not about that life.
I mean, as a single mother, you know, you're not put in the. I see right now that you're not put in the box. You don't allow yourself to be put in the box.
No, nobody puts C.R. Clarke in the box.
But are you put in a category?
I would like to be put in a category as a hustler.
As a hustler.
I like that.
If I'm going to be put in any category, that's the one I'm going to take.
As the hustler.
I don't accept anything less, because I'm always hustling no matter how hard situations may get. I don't know how to fail.
Damn.
You've known me for years.
Known you for years.
And you already see.
Always hustling.
What I have accomplished.
Always hustling. And we have tried to hook up on many events doing a lot of things. So
hello.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And we have been surrounded by a lot of people who do a lot of things too. So the motivation was definitely there.
Right.
Definitely there. I'm about to chase after your sister too, because I want to get her on the show too.
Yeah.
Because of her the training and stuff she does with the physical.
Well,
fitness.
I know she hasn't been doing it as often, but she's definitely about to get back into it, because it's with seasons as well too, and she's going to school right now. So that may have played a little bit of part, but that's definitely one of her passions.
The whole family's talented. I'm trying to get the whole crew.
We're about that life.
I mean,
we was raised
had
right.
to add some more cheers.
Listen.
Yes.
It just came to the point where we just, prior to this, we had to have a meeting. We had to take on a manager now. And I wasn't sure at first. I was a little nervous because I felt like, you know what, sometimes maybe you want to do things, you got to do it yourself. But I found out sometimes that could become overwhelming.
Sometimes another person knows more than you know, and
exactly.
all does open up doors.
Yes, it does.
Like, I'm going to be honest, with my business, I have a person, he has his own business. He's actually a competitor if you really look at it. Well, he's like a family member to me now. I haven't even met him yet, and he's been helping me along my way. I've been working with him on his contracts. So sometimes you need somebody on the outside that's been there to show you how to do better and point you in the right direction. And I feel like as black folks and, you know, as our community, we don't help each other enough.
I don't think we do.
So if you have somebody trying to come in and help you, take it. And then pay it forward.
Now you see, this is. I'm glad you went there, because this
leave out the hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
This is the reason.
There's no hate when you got the right person in your corner.
You're right about that.
You're right.
This is the reason why we designed the show, because the first thing, our manager said to us was, what you want to deal with, and the first thing we answered, the neighborhood. I don't want to
neighborhood first.
Neighborhood first. I don't want to work outside nowhere else until I can work with our neighborhood. And you see what we accomplished by having our neighborhood sit with us.
Right.
Because we live right around the corner from each other.
Exactly.
And my thing is, you don't realize how much talent is in your neighborhood until you reach out. And this is the purpose of me building Live in the Living Room TRT. It's not just for social media, This is not for social. This is for the neighborhood to social media with ourselves.
Exactly.
To see like, oh, I just saw C.R. Clark on the Living Room Show.
Because people can walk by me in the street and not know what I do.
Not know what I do, but they'll look on their phone,
right,
24 hours a day, and sooner or later, oh my God, you'll see our
There you be.
There you be.
Hey, wait a minute, don't you write that book?
That's right.
Well, you know, one time that I left your house, like maybe the first year that I put my first book out, I bumped into, I don't even know his name. He was one of Earl's friends, if I don't mind saying his name. And he was like, "Oh, you're Sierra Clark. He brought my book. I had no idea."
Right.
He got an autographed picture and everything put on my Facebook page. Yeah,
might have been one of our watches that's here.
Yeah, he might be. So it's like my thing is like you never know. I walk by like I know certain people because of who I known growing up. Right. But there's so many people in all these buildings that's on this block, and we have no idea what each other does because. We don't have a community room that everybody goes to.
Not anymore.
You know, right. And we don't have that. So it's like, this is like a perfect thing to get everybody back connected.
That's true.
And to see, like, I could probably grow from you. You have no idea. You might be the perfect person.
What it basically is, to add on what he was saying, is to build in a neighborhood is building a core.
Right.
Once you start a good core, then you work your way outward. We're going to work our way up the block to Boston Road and eventually branch out. Eventually, to have a little radio station just in our area.
That would be awesome.
That's one of the immediate goals.
That's right.
A little radio station that just goes, let's say, 100 meters.
Yeah.
It might go from here to Gun Hill and all the way around 149th.
Right.
Where we can do the same thing.
That's a good covering, though. That's a great covering.
Yeah, we don't see. That's the whole thing.
Limited. What we're trying to do is not limited.
Yeah.
It's not limited at all. It goes to travel. It goes to a lot of different things.
It goes to everything.
Exactly.
Like people in our neighborhood are doing so many things.
Right.
There are so many people.
You got clothing. You got books. You got companies.
Cooking. Everything.
Right. Physical fitness.
Even the people who have mental diseases,
I
want to know them. I want to know everything.
Right.
I want to get in touch with everything that my neighborhood has to offer. We get such a bad rap because where we live at our location. Right. And I'm not ashamed to say it, East 174th Street. We are not always...
That's where you live at. That's where he lives at. I don't live there.
I don't know what you're talking
about. It's one of those things where every time a discussion comes up about certain things, it's always... And that used to bother me a lot. It bothers me a lot. Because working where I worked at before I work where I work at now, I used to work with these youth. And I know what these youth are worth.
Right.
A lot of these people
don't. A lot of talent.
Oh my goodness, you have no idea.
I do.
From poetry to language art. I mean, these kids. I mean, listen. The other day we just did it. About a couple of months ago, we just did it when we did the interview with the young man. Oh man, I can't even think of his name. And he's on the tip of my tongue. Excuse me. Across the street.
Oh, Gerard.
Gerard. Yes. To know that he was the first.
We don't even know if he was the first.
No, he is the. Trust me, man. Trust me. He is one of the. He is
first of what?
To have a college degree amongst our black men. Yes, he is the first. Okay. We have some who attended college, but none who have received a degree. He is the first to receive.
From where? The strip of
yes.
Longfellow?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes. We
have maybe the first of what you know of.
That's what I was trying to say.
Listen, I've been here a long time.
Yeah, that don't mean you know everything.
Listen, I've been here a long time when there was only 3 buildings on the block.
He brought the soil from the south.
Come on, man.
I mean, I just want to say it's what you know of, and I'm not knocking you, obviously, but I've been here around this block since I was 5 years old. I'm 6 and 40.
Right.
And I still don't know everybody out
there. I ain't going to tell my age, but I've been here longer than that.
I'm kissing it lightly.
Yeah, you know. But it's just one of them things that what I'm seeing is a different spurt. You know, we had our negative side. Now our positive side is starting to grow.
We have to water it so it can continue to grow.
Here's the big water right here. This is why we put this all together.
But you should put like flyers out. Like, I don't know if you do it already. Put flyers out. Let them know what you do.
You know what it is? I'm so afraid, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm so afraid because of where the location is.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a personal setting. You don't want everybody to come in because you don't want everybody
to know where you rest.
You know, or walking off the street because everybody doesn't have the same mentality. So you have to pick and choose. I want to work with everybody in the neighborhood, but everybody in the neighborhood might not want to work with me.
Right.
You know, people come up and they see, and they think, certain things, but no, it's hard work. It is hard work.
Trust me, my business currently, because I'm not stationed, because it's like a startup since October, I'm not stationed anywhere yet. So when it comes to doing like invoices and stuff, I had to put my address, which I hate. That's why the first thing on my list is to get a stationary place. Because even if I had wanted to be open to walk-ins, I can't do that right now.
Can't do that right now. That's right.
But that doesn't take away that I have the full knowledge and capability to execute the job the way that you need to be done.
You're right about that.
It's just where I'm starting.
It's basically about communication.
Right.
Once you communicate with them on what they're looking for, and you communicate with what you have available, and you just connect the ties.
Right. Because everything I can do can be done over the phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly.
Once all it needs is a connection to be made, and then once
I'm
you've made that proper connection
man.
And set everything up. Okay, this is where you got to go. They're expecting you this particular day, and I wish you the best.
Right, basically. I'm the middleman, literally. I'm the middleman between the candidate, the client, and then it's me in the middle.
Right. There's nothing wrong. Every project, every job, everything has a middleman.
Has a middleman. Right. You just want to become the beginning man.
I'm the middle woman.
That's all right.
Whoa.
Man. I am the beginning man because I already started. This is already taking off and running.
Listen, I know I don't have to ask you to come back. But
I asked you to come back.
I know. That's why I said I know I don't have to.
I'm like, when do you have me back? All right, let's go.
I ask you anyway because we always like to stay in touch with our guests. Always like to keep informed. So whenever you're ready, it's like always. It's been a beautiful night. You always come through, and I'm glad that we able to keep in touch.
I think we should just, not to cut you off, I think we should just give it a few months. And now that she put the book out here, see who've read the book, and maybe they'll comment back saying, "Oh yeah, I read the book since the last time you was there."
You're right.
And I hope the viewers that are watching, I hope that you really genuinely read the book, because if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Tell them again where they can pick the book up at.
That's right.
So for 10 the Hard Way, it's a couple of different locations. You can get it on Xzebras, that's XLIBRIS. Put in bookstore. You can look up 10 the Hard Way by C.R. Clarke. Or you can go on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Barnes & Noble. It's available on Goodreads. It's available on any flourishing book company online. The same with Unspoken Truth, Heaven's Story Continued by C.R. Clarke. It's available on Lulu. It's available on every online bookstore. I am out there national. Okay, so it's out there. You can get both of the books online. They have it hard copy. Well, for this book particularly, it's only soft copy and soft copy, period. I haven't did the ebooks for this one yet. So it's only soft copy for the second book. The first book, they have hard copy, soft copy, and ebook. Yeah.
There we go.
We said at the same time.
I also have a Facebook book page if you want to follow me. It's called C.R. Clarke Bookstore. So you can follow me on Facebook. I put up postings. I put up the actual links to the books. You can always talk to me, tell me what you think of it. I want the customer feedback, because how can I get better if you don't give me feedback?
Amen.
And if you lose all of that, soon you'll be able to plug into us and transfer over to her as one of our people.
That's right.
And go ahead, sorry, not to cut you off. But for my company, I also just made a Facebook page. It's not fully up and running yet, but it's still coming out. So I would say within a week, you can check out Clark & Leonard Employment Firm LLC. Is also on Facebook. You can put @employment firm and it should pop up. Okay, so I also post jobs there. It's national. It's not just New York. I recruit literally everywhere. Okay.
Before we get out of here tonight, I want to thank Miss C.R. Clarke for coming through. I want to give a shout out to my girl Lady T. Give a shout out to Relly Rel, Wake and Bake Boys. Blue Eye is.
Shout out to our listeners.
Shout out to our listeners.
Wake and Bake Boys, as you said.
All the time. Shout out to Paul Masson. Shout out to Nua. These are our sponsor people that we're trying to get in touch with, but we're going to make it work. Yamaha and everyone else.
It's a Yamaha.
Yeah, Yamaha. That's on the mix.
Okay.
You got to give everybody a little
bit
of
love. Motorcycles.
Yeah, give everybody some love. Samsung phones. I mean, it's all on the set, so you might as well Behringer headphones and. This, by the way, Inland changed their name. They're Pro HT now. So shout out to Pro HT. I don't know how to pronounce the name, so Pro HT. Ms. Clarke, we want to thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna have you back because we got a segment. I think I got a segment coming up. I think you would be absolutely beautiful for. I'm trying to get an all women's panel, so we're gonna work on that. We're gonna try to get you on that. I think you would be absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
But always a pleasure.
And it's not gonna be about your book, but you can slide in a couple of comments on that.
Listen, as much as I am focused about Teen Sierra Clark, I'm open to everything else.
Yes,
so
you are.
It doesn't always have to be about my books or myself. I'm not about that life. I'm open to everything because I give back as well.
Yeah.
I have many hats that I wear.
Yes, you do.
Many of hats. Very educated, very in tune. So I'm all about giving back to our Black community and Hispanic community.
That's what we like to hear.
You're right about that.
People, before we get out of here, I want to say thank you to Facebook Live. And now you can also find the show in entirety on YouTube. YouTube. You can find us on YouTube now. Sitting pretty on YouTube. Listen, y'all have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Have a great night. Thanks for having
Live
me.
in the living
Hope
room.
you wake up tomorrow and have a woody woo day.
Have a woody woo day.
Woody woo.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.